Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My at hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. This is your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I'm so pleased that you have joined me today on my own personal channel at VickiDillard.tv. Beloved, I know so many people have been looking for me because you're used to seeing me on other networks and platforms that I've helped to grow and build and give credibility to over the years. And so because you're used to seeing me there, beloved, folks are wanting to know, where is Vicki? So please let everybody know that if they want to see me live at least once or twice a week, they can watch me here on my own channel at VickiDillard.tv. I will still be on other platforms, but there will be some changes, which some of you all have already clearly realized. So those details are coming in due course. Okay. And also, beloved, on the count of three, y'all know I have a ritual that's many, many, many years young. As you come in, be sure to come in, giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Okay. I want you all to get ready to do that on the count of three. Are you hearing me? On the count of three, I want everybody to hit that thumbs up button and share, share, share. When you do that, you make it more likely that other folks will know that we're here. And how many of you all know that folks like the Vicki Show, who are considered to be alternative, and as I coined the phrase, BGR, Black Grassroots, you all know that this is how we expand our voice. You all understand that we're not a part of the legacy, established, mainstream, billionaire, neocon, anti-Black control systems. Talk Black to me. So that means that we're not the ones that they're looking forward to bringing on mainstream news to speak our piece. That means influence. They don't want us seeding our message to the world. And so if they can't effectively counter it, and if they don't have an appropriate talking head that will try to discredit us or limit us or misquote us and what we're about, beloved, do you understand? They do little things to prevent, frustrate, and foil our voices. And sometimes, unfortunately, some of these different platforms have algorithms set in their systems. So when certain words, certain people, certain topics come up, they automatically suppress our content so that the public can't see it. So you all know I've been around for a minute now, and I copy no one. God today. In fact, I know I'm a trendsetter. I move by myself, baby. God today. And can't nobody take credit for this magic. Nobody, nowhere. Talk Black to me. So I was doing this offline and online. And so I'm bringing that up to let you all know that I utilize these alternative platforms as a means to seed my message on different platforms because you're here. And so when you share, when you like, you make it more likely. And again, there are so many wonderful memes and videos and clips out there that some of you all help to make go viral. You don't know those people. When you see something that's funny or something that's interesting, they don't have to beg you and ask you to retweet, to share, to send the link. Some of you all are willing to pay for folks to go to the movies. You invite folks over, you cook a meal and invite folks over to watch a certain broadcast, a certain TV show, or a certain series. Talk Black to me. Some of you all actually are part of clubs and groups and chats and stuff discussing TV shows, and that's your business. We are human beings, so we like different things. But God forbid, Goddess forbid, that you wouldn't see the value of doing this on your own. And God forbid you think you're doing me individually a favor when you do that. No, I'm speaking as a voice for you. And if you can't recognize the power of media on your behalf and what that does to cause our issues to remain front and center, and also to counter malign, diabolical talking points and narratives, then baby, that issue solely is yours. So on the count of three, I need everybody to hit that thumbs up button quickly, okay? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. D Brown said, I caught you. Yay. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 share. You're so welcome, beloved. Share, 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 share. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And also be sure to subscribe to my personal channel here, family. As you all see, I've been giving it more attention after all these many, many years than I ever have before. And it's important that I begin to do that while I still see my message on other platforms. But thank you so much for supporting this VickiDillard.tv channel here, okay? Thank you so, so very much. Now, family, what I want to discuss with you today, if you have been following my broadcast, I'm talking about following the Vicki show over the years, you all know that I have always highlighted immigration issues. I'm seeing more and more people in Black media do the same. We've had to discuss these types of things because we've understood for some years now the intentions of the Democrat Party and the Republican Party equally to replace Black voices. You all remember when Obama was in office, how he catered to other people groups. You all know that I was one of the ones that ended up getting in a whole lot of trouble with my own people when Obama was in office because some of y'all didn't like the fact that I was critiquing him. And sometimes the way in which First Lady Michelle Obama even was moving. Talk black to me, somebody. Everybody hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. And the reason why some of you all were upset is because I was not distracted and preoccupied with their Black looking selves. When I realized that he did for the LGBT community what none thought could ever be done, and what all former Democrat presidents and Congresses failed to do, even for the LGBTQ community, when he did what no other administration, Republican or Democrat, had ever done in terms of passing some form of halfway decent comprehensive insurance, he used his political capital. The short time he had a majority in both houses of Congress, when he obviously him being the president of the United States, being able to sign that into law, he did not use that to push reparations. He did not use that for some pro Black economic program or policy that would ensure our protection. No, he used it for everybody but us. How many of y'all remember since many years ago, and even recently, I keep reminding you of an interview that he had with Ta-Nehisi Coates. And in that interview, remember, I revealed to you how he sat there and not only explained why he didn't push for reparations, but he actually gave us insight as to why he was arguing against it. And as a part of his reasoning, remember, he said that the Hispanics and Asians are going to ask, why should they have to pay it? And what did they have to do with slavery? How many of you all remember I read you that transcript years ago, and even more recently, after he did that comprehensive interview with Ta-Nehisi Coates? So your so-called first Black president argued against giving you reparations and said that the Hispanic community and the Asian community, y'all know I was giving him that everlasting work. I've been also discussing this on another platform I'm on, y'all, network, I should say. I'm on African Diaspora News Channel and stuff like that. My brother Phil, shout out to Phil Scott. He's been really good about breaking down and exposing the Democrats, probably more than anybody, in different ways for a long time, like myself. I'm seeing others that are out there that are doing the same, and good job to Black media that's exposing this. So I wanted to obviously discuss this today. By the way, family, some months ago, I did a powerful interview with some Chicagoans there talking about the agenda to remove the Black male principals and some of the Black political leadership in some of the school systems there, and how some of the Black principals and superintendents and so forth were mistreated and ousted and fired. So you want to be sure to go through here at VickiDillard.tv. Be sure to go through my lives from a couple of months ago, and be sure to take a look at back-to-back interviews that I did with some of the Black principals. So we have been on this Chicago stuff for a long time now in different ways. And again, not just me, but others. So I wanted to talk about this today because I think this is important. Why is this topic important? Remember how people love to tell Black folks to keep voting for Democrats, and we've been explaining to you for years in a very effective manner how that's ridiculous and how something is wrong when you continue to vote for somebody for many decades, right? Talk black to me, somebody. And you keep getting the same results for almost 60 years. Derek, your gift to Cash App is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. You're always so supportive, Derek. Thank you so much. So for almost 60 years, Black folks have been giving the Democrats their votes, but the Democrats every year figure out a way in which to screw you over and to tell you why they can't do for you for that which they do for illegals, legals, everybody else in America, and people that's not in America. Since we have been giving them our vote, they literally approved trillions with the T, trillions and trillions of dollars to everybody around the world. And every year they tell you why it's an impossibility to do something just for you. They didn't tell that to the Asian Pacific Island community, AAPI community, when the Asian Pacific Islanders claimed that they were being discriminated against. Remember they did that whole program called Stop Asian Hate? You don't hear nothing about it no more, do you? And remember, just like when they start pushing the COVID propaganda, remember it was out of nowhere. We started seeing COVID at the gas station. We started seeing COVID hearing on the radio, COVID on the iPhones, COVID on the iPads, COVID on cable, COVID on traditional, COVID on the job. COVID. It was out of nowhere all at the same time. That's an agenda, family. That's a conspiracy and a coordination. That's how the Asians did the Stop Asian Hate. Out of nowhere, just out of absolutely nowhere. In 1 year's time, they did it. Why did they do it? And I told you all. And I was on other platforms. Some of you who are my day ones who followed me over the years, who've seen your sister with the curly braids, you all can attest. What has Vicki been telling us the whole time? Didn't I tell you that when they did that AAPI stuff, I told you that the Asian Pacific Island community claimed that they were being discriminated against, and they were being assaulted, and they were going to put it on Black folks because they were working on an agenda. And sure enough, with overwhelming support from both Republicans and Democrats, they passed political protections for Asian people to protect them, claiming that they were being discriminated against disproportionately. Of course, for those of you that don't know, when they were giving you those numbers, many of you weren't able to verify those numbers in the beginning when they started that campaign. But did you all know that in certain locations, they actually had to adjust the numbers because they gave an overestimate of the alleged reporting of attacks? And in some areas, it was statistically unchanged. Somebody said that was a finesse. How many of you all know that your Democrat under Joe Biden, when he got in office, they didn't need the Republicans for this. They redistributed $50 million that was already in the government to give to just the Asian community in 1 year's time. So they got political protections with overwhelming support from Republicans and Democrats that passed. And without the need for any congressional approval, they used $50 million that was already in the government, redirected to the Asian community in 1 year's time. And now you don't hear nothing about it. And then when we looked at the numbers and when we looked at individual cases, we found that the overwhelming number of people who were attacking them, which was very small, were white folks. But what were you seeing? What you were seeing on television was they were trying to make it seem like it was Black folks that was doing it because they knew that was the only way they was going to get white Republicans to join in on the trick. And how many of y'all know that was a trick? Family, as you come in, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. That's an automatic. It helps other folks know that we're here. Be sure to share the broadcast. And of course, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Yes, some people keep saying that. Vicki, I'm so glad I caught the live. Clara just said it now too. Yes, beloved. Y'all know I don't have a specific schedule here yet. When I go live on my channel, I know I used to have a specific schedule when I was on some of these other platforms. You'll still see me, again, seeding my message in multiple places, but you will see changes elsewhere. But for now, you can see me once a week at least, or twice a week, or 3 times a week here on my own channel. So just be subscribed and always check, okay? And so I hope that they send out notifications, but how many of you all know they don't always send out notifications? So you have to be conscious and aware. Shout out to my moderator that's in the building, Aquarius. I see you, sis. Always good to see you. Somebody said they're tricksters, smart, brilliant looking. Vicki, yes, that was a finesse, beloved. Thumbs up, share. What happened? So Black folks, they love to tell us that we're not engaged politically like they want us to do. Every time something goes wrong, when a race shows that it should have been won, and when they come up short with voters, they blame Black folks, even though we're the most consistent and the most faithful bloc. When something goes wrong and they say, well, yeah, technically y'all were supposed to win, but this party or this person played tricks on you, but you still didn't vote hard enough. They blame it on us. It doesn't matter how much we show up. But I'm trying to tell you, it makes no sense for us to keep showing up for people that don't show up for us. And I told you all, I'm going to keep talking voting and politics, because The presidential election is just around the corner. I know they're going to try to indoctrinate and program our people to stay stupid. And I am determined to counter that, which is why I have been also attacked by mainstream Black media, which is why I have also been attacked by other forces that you can't even see. Some of them talk Black to me. By the way, family, some of our moderators in the building, they're putting important links in the chat for those of you that ask how you can support me, because you all know they demonetized me a long time ago, beloved, for telling the truth. If you want to support the work that I do here, which of course you would be intelligent to do so and to make it consistent, and nobody needs to beg for that. Talk Black to me. The Cash App information, PayPal information, and even how some of you all can write me for lovely gifts in the mail. Your information is there as well. And also, beloved, be sure to join my email list at VickiPlanet.com. Don't forget, mark your calendars, January 2nd, 2024. That's my 45th birthday, January 2nd, 2024. I am unleashing really my third mastermind school. I've had different schools before. I'm no longer associated with that club, Vicki, which that's a part of Fly Nubian Dr. Boy stuff. I'm not connected to that. I've got some announcements coming up about that, but I just wanted to give that brief information because my attorneys are working on some stuff right now, so I can't get into the details of all of that. Vicki, you're looking gorgeous today. Thank you so much, precious. But I have to respond to some of the messages that I'm getting from different people that are telling me stuff that's going on, and I can't give too much information about it because I've got to make sure that I am crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and making sure that I am legally giving you the right information. So I can't misspeak. And you all know I'm a classy lady. I don't do drama. That's not my nature. But there are obviously some things that we have to discuss. But this is my third school, the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. I'm going to be doing once a month mastermind school. But my tech team is working on having our own community. So you're going to have access to each other's, even on the day that I'm not doing the mastermind. It's going to be so many wonderful benefits and access that the average person won't. Give me 12 months to shape your entire life. Beloved, I ain't like everybody else. I believe in, if you formally want to get initiated into something, if you want to do this and do that, I believe that is so important. It's so important to treat the metaphysical, spiritual world with respect. But baby, my contacts, beloved, in groups that I have tried to connect with, and people that claim that they were going to put me under their wings and they claim they were going to do that and do this, they didn't. So what does one do? And this has happened to me for so many years in so many different ways, where I was rejected from certain established groups that did not want me to grow in certain levels of spirituality. And so they rejected me. They didn't make me a priority. Talk Black to me, somebody. And of course, there was some spiritual work that was being done against me. God, today it still is. So you gotta distance yourself and separate yourself and wake up and smell the guns, because there are spirits that operate in human beings, or that appear to be human beings. So I had to go straight to the spirit world. I had to have supernatural encounters with beings and entities that weren't from here, because the human looking folks weren't rocking with me. And they still don't sufficiently. And it's okay. So I don't want to be caught up in all that they got going on anyway. I'm on something different. I'm going to take out this way with my unique assignment, and you stay over there with your unique assignment. That's what the Vicki Dillard Mystery School is about. It's about me not acting like I'm somebody else, or me knowing something that's not my station. I'm only going to tell you about my supernatural experiences to help you tap into and manifest your destiny. What's undeniable is what I know how to do, and that's manifest my destiny. So it's the principles that I'm going to give you, not so that you can copycat, but so that you can operate in these principles and manifest your unique destiny and purpose. Because we're creating a brand new world, and I'm going to need more help. We need more folks. And that's a part of my assignment and a part of my contract with Planet Earth. Talk Black to me. My sister Aquarius is telling everybody, hit that thumbs up button. She said, we got more people in here than thumbs up. Thank you all so much for sharing. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. We welcome the demonic and diabolical trolls that's about to get out of here. Talk Black to me. Now watch this. Look at this headline, family. This just took place. And again, y'all know we've been discussing Chicago in so many ways for so long. And I'm so happy to see so many other Black media folks discuss this, because we're waking up and smelling the begonias to see the tricks of the Democrat Party and how they misuse us. Do you all see this headline? This just happened today. You can see the date on it. Can you see the date? Well, actually, you can't see the date on this one. This just took place today. Look at this headline, family. Son kissed by the Most High. No comment on that, beloved. I can't go there with that right now, precious. I'll let you say it because I ain't gonna control what you say, as long as it's respectful. But I can't get into that. But you ain't crazy. Okay, controversial. That's all I'm gonna say. Mwah, kisses to you, beloved. Controversial sanctuary city ballot question voted down by the city council. So here we see Chicago, Black Chicago, has come out politically engaged. Somebody say politically engaged. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because, see, your Black bootlicks tell you, they dog me. The reason why mainstream voices, people that are more high profile than me, or people that have access to CNN, MSNBC, all the people, you probably like, why do they care about what little Vicki's saying? It's the potency of my message that makes me more powerful. You know, I used to quote something years ago, and I posted a few times a long time ago on Instagram. I think I did when I started my Instagram page some time back. And one of the things I used to say is, I said, I'm famous in the spirit realm. I said, I'm famous in the spirit realm. What is that about? That means, beloved, yes, of course, I want to make impact on earth, but I understand that the greatest impact is the potency and the power with which, so it's not just a matter of hitting 300,000 views. If you hit 30,000 views, 3,000 views, talk black to me, somebody, 300, and the quality of the individuals that's listening to what you say and implement in practical ways that which they hear, that's what makes you dangerous. And when your message has a spiritual, when it's laced spiritually, then they fear you, then they dog you, then they come for you. And of course, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Because this is my time. Talk black to me. Watch this. So Black Chicago, I'm bringing this up because they want you to believe that you're not politically engaged and it's just Black folks talking about not vote. No, silly. You got Black Chicagoans showing up to every city council. You've got Black Chicagoans letting you know who they are going to vote for, who they're not going to vote for. You've got Black Chicagoans engaging with all of their Congress folks, with their city council folks, with their assembly folks, not just Chicago folks. I'm talking about Chicago, but I'm talking about them symbolically and representative and as proxy to other Black folks, and also in other cities where we're seeing that this is happening in places like New York and other cities, right? Watch this. So don't you let them tell you that. When I have promoted specific pro-reparations candidates like Marcel Dixon, and I even gave you all the information to support them financially, which of course I did in more than a few times, past congressional folks, I've had Congress people tell me that they listen to me. I've got some other high profiles that privately communicate with me about the power of Vicki Dillard's message. This is what makes you dangerous. They think I'm flammable. That's what's dangerous. Y'all know what it means when something is flammable, right? It's something that can be easily set on fire. So don't you ever let them make you feel that you ain't doing what's right. No, they don't like how you're politically engaged. And they sure don't want you to be held accountable. They sure don't want you to hold them accountable for their lack of success and for their lack of effectiveness and for their lack of tangibles for their most loyal voting bloc, which is you and I. Rashad, you should star in your own most conscious movie documentary. Yes, beloved. Oh, it's going to happen, beloved. The Vicki story is coming. My other upcoming book is coming out 2024. My personal book will be coming out, I'm sure, sometime after that. But that's going to be my second book. And my own documentary. Yes, I was so pleased to be in the premiere of 2 documentaries this year, the B1 movie, as well as my brother Tariq Nasheed's movie, The American Maroon. It was so amazing. Of course, I did those pre-records earlier, but they both premiered this year. And so it's absolutely amazing. So by the way, be sure to check out both of those documentaries. So yes, it was a high pleasure to be featured there. And that's another thing. You got to understand that when some of you affectionately call me the Queen of Black Media, it's not because you can put Vicki's media impact in one thing. I sold my message in different fields. It's not an ego thing for me. So that means that if you watch a documentary, I'm sowing my message there, yes. And over time, thousands and thousands of people will view it, yes. You may see me on YouTube. You'll see me on TikTok. You'll see me on Instagram. Where's it wrong? You'll see me on Rumble. You'll see me on Facebook. You'll see me on African Diaspora News Channel Network. You'll see some of my other videos on Your Black World and Fly Nubian Queen and Fly Nubian YouTube, Fly Nubian Facebook, and some other affiliate networks and names that I don't even remember. Because I wasn't controlling where they were putting my messages. I was just out there. I love your nails. Thank you, precious. I got purple this time. The glitters. Watch this. Got my magazine and stuff. I believe in seeding our message in more than just one way. Talk black to me. That's my uniqueness. Not trying to be no copycat. So what I have been teaching you and what I have been emphasizing is about powers coming from the ground up in this season. That means that what you hear me say, you ought to be thinking, how can you implement that in your day-to-day life? G. Bagur, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Thank you, beloved. You should be thinking, what can I do? What do I have in my hand? How can I affect change based on this news, this information that Vicki Dillard just gave me? That's what's going to really cause this thing to take off. When I start doing my Black Town Halls, my live, my goal, is to go into different cities and do my Black Town Halls. This is something that I discussed with Brother Andrew Wyatt, which is Dr. Bill Cosby's PR guy. I've got so many things going on and right now, but things are unfolding slowly but surely in the right time. But that is one of the things that I'm looking forward to do within the next year, is to at least start with the first city Black Town Halls, and I want you all obviously to show up there. We were doing some preliminary work to get some technical things going on, but I am actually seriously considering starting in Chicago. In fact, I was talking to some Chicagoans about that a long time ago, actually, well before some of this migrant stuff started to really take off. And so some of you may or may not know, I had the privilege of addressing several HBCU students in the entrepreneur program. And so the brother that was responsible for bringing that group together, which was the same group that actually Michelle Obama got to speak to, their head listened to Your Sister with the Curly Braids. And they put together some questions, and I was able to address them in this entrepreneur program. And it's several HBU students together that received that. So it was to them that I was initially talking about, hey, when I'm coming into town, blah, 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 because they were actually trying to see, they were trying to actually contact me, thought I was on one of my other former networks at that particular time, because I had left that network before and then, came back as a favor to someone. So anyway, so when I initially left, they were looking for me. When they found me, this is one of the things that we discussed, is about me coming to Chicago actually to do a Black Town Hall. So we'll discuss the details of that, inshallah, in due course. The first city I plan to do within the next 6 months to a year, we'll be talking about major political issues, just like I talk about here, but we'll narrow it down. It can't be everybody getting the mic, you understand, family, but there will be a basic address, some things that I will discuss live. I will certainly love to hear from a couple of wherever city that is. In this case, will be Black Chicagoans. I want you all to take the mic, express your opinion, and then everybody, if you have your phones, whatever your social media thing is, you can, record it. Some parts of it, some parts at least live. We all go live together, you understand, for the Black Town Hall. Of course, that would be awesome. Yes, beloved. So that has been a part of my vision, number one, to do a tour for many years, but specifically the notion of a Black tour was something that I discussed some time back with Mr. Andrew Wyatt. So stay tuned for that. But this is the kind of stuff I brought that up because I'm trying to let you all know we do a bunch of stuff and they don't like it. I know I got way off on that. So let's get to the meat of where I'm going. Again, the headline that I'm discussing is what just took place today, what was just reported today about their council vote in Chicago. And I was giving you context to let you know that it was Black Chicagoans that was so effectively politically engaged, and they have managed to successfully shut down a lot of their illegal immigration, the Democrat immigration agenda, because they were putting illegals, illegal migrants and stuff over the interest of Black Chicagoans. Black Chicagoans have been forced out of Chicago. Black Chicagoans are in poverty. They are on the streets. They're homeless. They don't have proper adequate health care and jobs. But yet the governments, both state and federal, can come up with resources and demands, even without the resources, appropriate resources, to prioritize people that broke federal law to get here. They call us criminals, but they call them dreamers. So you can think cute of their crimes. They call illegals, people that got into this country illegal, they call them dreamers. That's a cute and fluffy way to call them a criminal. But they call your very Black self a criminal, and they throw you in prison. So Black folks have been effective in shutting this down because we realized that they prioritize these groups and spend money on these groups in ways that they don't do us. Do you think if Black folks were adequately taken care of, if they had appropriate jobs and housing, do you think that you would find such a strong and intense objection to this madness that they're seeing? Black folks who are the sweetest, kindest, loving people on the planet. When we put our foot down after 500 years, you got to respect that. And if you don't respect that, you'll get run over too. Somebody put some stilettos in the chat. Controversial sanctuary city ballot question voted down by City Hall, by City Council. What happened? These are some of your folks that's involved in this. You see Mayor Brandon Johnson. Watch this. The City Council on Thursday, that's today, voted down an attempt to advance a non-binding referendum question that would ask voters if Chicago should remain a sanctuary city. I repeat, the City Council on today, Thursday, voted down an attempt to advance a non-binding referendum question that would ask voters if Chicago should remain a sanctuary city. Older people voted 31-16. Remember those numbers, Chicago. Chicago, the question is what you going to do about it. And if you're in Oklahoma, Mississippi, Tennessee, New York, Texas, California, I'm just naming places, anywhere you are, wherever you are, Black family that's watching and listening to me, you got to be listening to this and wondering, how are you going to get engaged and what are you going to do about this in your particular city or state? Older people voted 31-16 against a parliamentary move to introduce the resolution at a special city council meeting Thursday morning, swiftly killing the effort that has contributed, listen, y'all, to widespread city hall turmoil in recent months. Shalina, Goddess, Empress, Queen, looking like an angel. Thank you, precious. They've called, why is this piece calling the city hall meetings swiftly killing the effort that has contributed to widespread city hall turmoil in recent months? Why are they referring to city hall as turmoil? Because Black folks were showing up politically engaged and they don't like it. Who is they? The DNC, the Democrats. Black family, if you ain't out there just voting against Trump, it's the Democrats that's silencing you. It's the Democrats that's silencing and suppressing your vote. I have been breaking and continuing to talk about how James Clyburn, an elder senior congressman from South Carolina, who actually secretly worked with the GOP, the Republicans, to remap his own city so that he could stay in power, even though it adversely worked against other possible future Black congresspeople to save his seat. And the Democrats are silent. But I thought y'all said that it's the Republicans we need to be worried about that's responsible for suppressing the Black vote. This is a form of suppression. They voted against you being able to determine whether or not your city should be a sanctuary city for migrants. So they stopped it. I thought they were supposed to be representing your voice. Do you all know that the overwhelming number of Black folks, when it comes down to who's for sanctuary cities and who's against it, the overwhelming numbers who are against it are Black folks and other melanated people? Did you all know that? This is them telling you to shut up, ninja. That's what they're telling you. They're punishing you for showing up too much and involving yourself too much in politics. They're punishing you because some of y'all actually sued them. Some of you all are responsible for shutting down a 67,000-foot facility where they were going to house these folks, and that park that y'all was successfully able to shut down. It's not a good look when y'all show up so educated and so intelligent, knowing their jobs, their policy, and the positions better than they do. It's hard to combat your stories when you sit there and tell them how you were forced out of the city, how your auntie, how your loved ones, how your neighbors who were raising their families couldn't afford Chicago, so they were forced to move to another city. But yet the state is spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for people that violated, that committed crimes to get here. They walk over Black veterans who are homeless in Chicago, and now the whole city is in an uproar on how to house them in a humanitarian way. They're holding pressers, they're bringing in preachers and pastors, and they're punishing other politicians who don't get on board and who aren't effective with this. They never do that for you. So here you are utilizing your government, right, to address your grievances. They tell you you're not engaged enough, you're not voting enough, you don't show up enough. And when you do, guess what they're doing now? Some of you, this is not the first time some of you've heard this before. I said, this is not the first time that some of you heard this before. Look at this headline. Somebody tell me what this is another article. This was from a few days ago, the 8th. Somebody tell me what this headline says. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. For those of you that are just coming in, my name is Vicki Dillard. I am an online media personality and I'm a spiritual teacher. In fact, be sure to save the date for January 2nd. That is when I am launching officially my absolutely amazing mastermind school, the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. I'm going to share with you breakthroughs for all of 2024. Give me 12 months to transform your life. I'm going to be talking to you about how I tapped into supernatural realms and spheres that gave me specifics in terms of power and practical seed of what I needed to do on earth in order for me to manifest destiny. I'm telling you, these are some of the entities that even kept me when I was in the belly of the beast, and when even worse things that were set and determined for me by the powers that shouldn't be, what they wanted to happen to me, that didn't happen to me. It was my spiritual court that even when it looked like I was losing, they were the ones that were prosecuting some of my haters. And they're the ones that have opened up a door for me to still see my message even when they wrote me off. This is what I'm going to be discussing with you, these metaphysical spiritual principles. This is not a religious group, it's a spiritual group. And I'm putting a premium on spirituality because do you all know that more and more people are admitting now that most folks that are considered to be successful, many of them work with certain things that they call magic or certain spiritual principles. And certainly after the pandemic, there were some articles that I was reading that was talking about the fact that a lot more folks are looking for spiritual psychological assistance because they're finding that that's meeting their needs more, and it's what's causing them to be more successful is when they're spiritually aligned. In other words, when you put a better premium on your spiritual life, that's what's going to give you advantages in every area of your life. So be sure to get ready to join my mastermind school. When you make the main way, what I want you to do is to join my email list at VickiPlanet.com. The link is pinned above. Because as soon as it's live, which is going to be in a couple weeks, you're going to be the first to get it. So all you need to do is click on it and enter your credit card information. It's $45 a month, family. That is absolutely cheap in celebration of my 45th birthday. And I'm going to talk to you about why the number 45 is important and what that has to do with you manifesting destiny. And you giving me 12 months to shape your life. Brother Muhammad, I thank you for your Cash App gift. Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. My sister Shalina said, big facts. when she said, I can't wait. I'll be to tell you, I can't wait. Thank you, beloved. Because, and you all know my courses are so powerful because there's been so much warfare around it, hasn't it? There's been so many haters around my spiritual messages, liars and devils and thieves and people committing crimes. I said they was committing crimes, yes. Crimes concerning my spiritual school. This headline. Yes, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. You got that right. And I'm hitting the gavel on that. Watch this. What did Chicago do recently? Black folks, y'all have been showing up so effectively in Chicago. Your messages are resounding so strongly around the country. Y'all know when Black folks talk, there's a lot of energy in it. So it carries greater weight. That's why I keep telling you why they don't like me, as opposed to somebody like Joyless Reed or Donna Lemonade, who is now fired from CNN. Or Lester Holt. These are just weak bones and biscuits. These are useless Black-looking people who just speak for white supremacy and oppressive systems. They don't carry a power whose word resonates to transform and to change. Everybody keeps saying they caught the loud today, Ernest. I'm so glad you did. Listen, did you all know you Black family was showing up so tough in Chicago? You all are so deeply and effectively politically engaged. Your videos of you showing up to these council meetings were going viral so much. Look what they did. Brother Zebulon, man, I hate missing my Queen Vicki, but I'm on my way to a meeting. Oh, bless you, precious. You're one of my biggest fans and supporters. I got to say I love my brothers. When I do get married, y'all, my husband's going to be like, Lord, y'all are so sweet. Listen, watch this. Chicago officials revised rules limiting access to city council meetings after warning. Y'all hear that? Members of the public would have to make reservations. I'm going to give you the quick gist of this. It says members of the public, that's you all, that was showing up to these city council meetings. Members of the public would have to make reservations and show government issue identification to sit in the main second floor gallery in the council chambers during meetings of the Chicago City Council under revised rules designed to limit access to where members of the public can sit. The new rules issued Thursday came several days after the president of the Better Government Association warned Mayor Brandon Johnson that the administration's efforts to restrict access to the meetings of the city council were, quote, inequitable and likely illegal. I said the new rules issued Thursday came several days after the president of the Better Government Association warned Brandon Johnson that the administration's efforts to restrict access to meetings of the city council were, quote, inequitable and likely illegal. Do you see why I keep telling you that both Mayor Brandon Johnson and the city council, not only through this vote that denies you Black Chicagoans and others the right to decide whether or not your city should be a sanctuary city, but the fact that they don't want your Black behind showing up to the political meetings. They say, who do you think you are? You know why this animates me? When I was in elementary school, I was writing a movie called Off Drugs. My mother so believed in her little elementary school child's movie that she brought me extra paper from work so that I could write my movie. As I was writing my movie, a little girl, my mother told me and believed in my movie so much, she said, you should write the mayor. I was politically engaged as a child because my mother made me believe that what I was doing was so important. The government needed to know about it. And at the time, the mayor's name was Jimmy Kemp. And one day when I came home from school, guess what was in the mailbox? A letter addressed from the city of Meridian, Mississippi to Vicki Dillard, congratulating me on my movie. And of course, you can imagine I've been giving them hell ever since. It took scared to death Negroes to try to talked me out of my power as I grew and as I became more effective dealing with other higher levels of government to tell me, don't you know if you do that, they're going to do this? It's always them. And it's not just them. The powers that shouldn't be, when you show up and then you engage, when I was showing up to meetings. Do y'all know how your sister with the curly braids, without an official membership with a political organization, before the 2007-2008 Great Recession, it was during that time-ish, but before the multi-billion-dollar bailout was signed, do you all know that an organization flew me and paid for everything for me to go to Drake Hotel to confront attorneys general and have a seat at the table? They changed up the whole program. They changed the whole program up because I attended a political meeting and they heard me speak. The room was packed, standing room only. And the director heard me and my words moved him in such a way that they say she needs a seat at the table. It's how I was a speaker at one of the breakout sessions in Washington, D.C. years ago, where Van Jones was the main speaker. It was called an America's Future Conference. I was also a part of their planning committee when they flew me back to Chicago. And folks that were representatives from different states were there. I was flown to also Seattle and other places that I attended a meeting locally in Colorado, but also they flew me to different states. That happened because I showed up somewhere, because I was working individually and I gave them hell and everlasting work. And the weight of my words moved people that knew me as a stranger. And that was nothing, but it was my spiritual assembly. God, today is good. It was my spiritual council meeting that I was having that preceded that. So when I showed up in real life in 3D, I shook stuff. And sometimes the powers that shouldn't be, they couldn't vibe with my energy. They were pissed at me. They were angry with me. And it was my spiritual court that came with me and that was pimping and agitating those other entities no matter where I went. So when I was dealing with civil cases and I was exposing powerful entities years ago, judges got so mad in civil cases that a judge said I was threatening her. I beat a major Wall Street bank in a civil court case, in a civil 2-day court case in Arapahoe County in Colorado. Standing there by myself with their lawyers as experts, bankers, construction people, and everything like that. And other than just a few miscellaneous dollars that the jury came back with, I won 95% of the civil trial. And I was listening to Spirit tell me what to do. See, you're going to learn this in Vicki Dillard Mystery School. That when you engage in what I tell you to engage in consistently, you move in multiple spheres. And sometimes the trouble, when I would go somewhere and not even say nothing, the energy shifted. It was because my spiritual court was on the team and they were oftentimes agitating stuff, shaking SHIT up. And then when I began to speak, stuff happened. This is where the gavel came from. This is an 18-year young revelation. Didn't nobody teach me this. I don't care if it's in a book somewhere or you claim that somebody else was out here with it. I was dealing with a gavel before I came to social media. Because a counsel showed up to me in my prayer time, let me know the power of my words because I was legislating spiritually. That's what makes what I'm doing now effective. Better get your $45 a month ready. Launching January 2nd. Make sure you're on my email list so that you're directly connected. The link is above for VickiPlanet.com. Had a major activist here in the state get upset with me because one of the cities here in Colorado changed their policy because of a confrontation that the police in a civil case had with me. And because they were upset and was losing, the activist was pissed off at me because the police department changed their entire policy because of an incident they had with Vicki Dillard. This is nothing. I said, this is nothing for me. See, some of you just run your mouth. And all you are is a silly little troll. You ain't affecting nothing in real life. And so that's the reason why when some of these little play actors and I call them actors, that's prophetic. The spirit must want me to say that. I meant to say activists. Geez. These play actors, these play activists, those street politicians and stuff. Because I don't move politically like they do, don't mean you effective. The list too long of what I done did. God today. So black to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. What does it say? Black family, y'all were so effective in your political engagement in Chicago that right now, somebody said Brandon Johnson, somebody said that sellout, somebody said that traitor, somebody said that traitor. When y'all call him mayor, you need to throw traitor in there some kind of way. Somebody say shout out to Chicago. Shout out to my New York folk. The new rules issued Thursday came several days after the president of the Better Government Association warned Mayor Brandon Johnson that the administration's effort to restrict access to meetings of the city council were inequitable and likely illegal. So black family, I'm trying to give you your talking points next. I'm trying to tell y'all that y'all need to be trying to sue him or making threats to sue. Talk black to me. This the new thing. Y'all need to be saying the Democrats are telling are engaged in black voter suppression. Y'all need to be using that language, not against Republicans that they tell you should be scared of. Stop that. Trice H. I hope I'm saying your name right. Love me some Vicki Chicago in the live. I love me some Chicago back, and I'm so glad Chicago's here. I have extreme support in Chicago. I even had a newspaper sometime back. This brother who was giving out newspapers, final call newspapers in Chicago. He was with the Fruit of Islam, which is a part of the Nation of Islam. He got a message to me and sent me a picture. And while they were there selling the newspapers in Chicago, he's in another state, of course, and I'm in Colorado. He sent me the picture of his engagement, and he was out there with the newspaper. And at this particular time, the newspaper, Final Call, has covered me on different topics, or they've asked my opinion on certain topics over the years. And so this particular piece, I must have been either on the front page or one of the more visible pages or something. My name was on there somewhere to where the guy could see it. And so he said, "Is that Vicki Dillard?" And the guy who was selling the paper is going to say, "Oh, you know her?" And the guy looked at the man in the nation like, "Fool, what you mean? What you mean? Do I know?" He looked at me, do I know? What you mean? Do I know? Do I know Vicki? Y'all know, even since before COVID, I wasn't traveling because I've been overcoming major illnesses for so many years. So I was isolated even long before COVID. So I rarely ever even travel. But child, when I travel, it's real. It's real. I'm hidden in little Lily White, Colorado. Thank God. But even a couple of y'all are seeing me now. I can't even hardly go to Walgreens. The lady saw me there. I said, "Oh Lord!" It ain't but 5 black people in Colorado. Get to where you're going, Vicki. Read the revised rules. However, the changes are unacceptable. According to the BGA, a 100-year-old group that advocates for good government and transparency, quote, the new rules, it says, violate the spirit and likely the letter of the state law and should be revised, according to a statement from the BGA. In a time where, y'all listen to, this is this government accountability organization that has called out your black Democrat mayor who's trying to restrict black folks. They said that you got to have a government issue ID and make reservations. You got to get screened. They got to look into you before you get there. You Negroes are making too much noise. You showing up in too many numbers. You're going viral too much. We're getting all kind of hell from every which way. We were so successful in times past on how we do our dirty work. We only suck up to what the DNC say. We only suck up to our donors, our wealthy donors. Now you ninjas done come out the fields. Come out today. And using your very black magic, and we don't even call you an alderman or alderwoman. You're not an assembly person. You're not a congressperson. You're not the mayor. But you ninjas are affecting our work. So your Democrats who told you that it's the Republicans that's going to silence you and steal your vote. You need to call this voter suppression. I've been making the point for a long time now with James Clyburn and how everybody's real quiet on James Clyburn colluding with the Republicans so that he could save his seat, thus restricting his own constituents' voices and setting up the system to where even other future possible Black congresspersons won't be able to be successful in a run for office. Yes, Aquarius girl, they didn't come out the field, sis. Got a little bit of chicken. Talk black to me. Sun is not directly on them. That's enough for them to just sell all the way out. In a time where important matters are being discussed, they say at this accountability organization, it says in a time where important matters are being discussed, the public is entitled to open access to our government. I repeat, in a time where important matters are being discussed, the public is entitled to open access to our government according to the statement. Access rules that have been in effect for years comply with the Open Meetings Act and allow for public participation in the democratic process in a safe and decorous environment, if reasonably and professionally enforced. Members of the public have been denied access to the main second floor gallery in the city chambers after a series of out of control meetings prevented the city council from conducting its business. So they're trying to tell you Negroes that you acting like animals. That's what that translates into. They say out of control meetings. Out of control meetings are meetings where you are not saying what they tell you to say. Rahman said, talk black to me. Thank you, brother. One of my strong supporters. Out of control means it's not nobody's life on the line. If they want to say it's out of control, it's when that Hispanic councilman, alderman, put his hands on that Black woman. I talked about that on my brother Phil Scott's channel. Look at my community page. I think I put the link down on my community page. I did that broadcast on African Diaspora News Channel some days ago. I did it a couple weeks, some days back, but I don't know when it's going to air, but it aired already. So I put the link in my community page, but you got to look down the community page because I put all kind of messages there from time to time. Did y'all hear that? That's the only time it was out of control, when the Hispanic alderman put hands on the Black woman. They're trying to imply that y'all are animals. They're saying the Negroes, when they talk, when Black folks open their mouth, white folks get scared because it's a vibration. And that's another reason why they always like to talk about the angry Black woman. It's not, no. Judge Judy is an inappropriate angry Black woman. Nancy Grace is crazy. Your little lily white crazy Karens are the ones that's crazy. But because they don't have the spiritual vibration that we sisters have, see, it cuts through you when we say something and do something. And then everything into you, every spirit in you start to shake and move different. They're not the original woman. So they can tell you with a smile on their face that they're getting ready to take you out and unalive you, and you're going to be sitting there smiling and not feel threatened. But if I say something to you, ninja, you act like everything is lost. You so offended. But you don't understand it's a spiritual vibration. So see, your diabolical attack against the Black woman, she's angry, she's this, no trick. I'm giving you Vicki Dillard Mystery School knowledge. What's another synonym for your original language or the language that you were taught, your native tongue? What do they call it? Somebody tell me in the chat, what's another synonym, another word that they use to refer to your native tongue? Somebody tell me in the chat. Let me give you some Vicki Dillard Mystery School real quick. Somebody put it in the chat for me quickly. I'm waiting. I know this chat can be slow. Not dialect. Thank you, Lanny. Mother tongue. God, today. It's not called father tongue. You're welcome. So be careful when I say something. It's called the mother tongue. That's a spiritual thing. That's a vibrational thing that's happening. And that's the reason why you get in your feelings and you feel a certain type of way when we say something. It ain't because it's no different than that knucklehead that just threatened to take your life. They lack a certain vibration, silly. This piece is claiming that all the people have been repeatedly heckled and harassed by members of the public, many of whom have been explicitly racist, have made explicitly racist statements while debating efforts by the city to care for more than 24,400 rights. So now they're calling you Black folks racist. They said that some of y'all at these meetings are showing up making explicit racist statements. Watch this. We know they're talking about you because they said while debating efforts by the city to care for more than 24,400 migrants sent to Chicago on buses paid for by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. So they saying you racist. None of these tricks are working. Hey, Miss Hazina. Miss Hazina is laughing. She's one of my strong supporters and was also a student of my previous spiritual schools. An intense debate over the migrant crisis escalated. Johnson broke from the pattern set by former mayors Rahm Emanuel and Lori Lightfoot, who frequently had people they deemed disruptive removed from the chambers, even if they had not interrupted the meeting. Ronnie Reese, a spokesperson for the mayor, said the revised rules were necessary because of, quote, threats to personal safety. Y'all better listen to these tricks that these devils do. This is a government, your Democrat Black government too. Your Democrat Hispanic, all these Hispanic folks is working against you too. Because remember, it was a Hispanic alderman that tried to put hands on a Black woman. He actually did put hands on her. They're using quotes like threats of outbursts, threats to personal safety, outbursts, and repeated disruptions. So I'm giving you Black family in Chicago. Y'all make sure they get this link so that y'all got the heads up so y'all know how to move. I want y'all to see that. Our narrative, our talking point has to strongly be how Democrats are suppressing the Black voice. That's the reason why I labeled today's broadcast how they're punishing and silencing their Black voters who object to their city becoming a sanctuary city. This is how they punish and silence you. This is how they tell you to shut up. Now, it's only, so when they pretend to tell you that they really want you engaged in government, no, they don't. God, that's the last thing. When they say engage in government, that means show up to vote when we tell you and what we tell you to vote on, vote for. Then you get an addy boy and a hand clap. I got to run, family. I just thought I would run it, just tell the Black family what's going on. Your sister with the curly braids. I love you all so much. You're more powerful than you know. I keep telling you that power in the season is coming from the ground up. And do you know this is evidence of that? How long has I been telling you that for years, haven't I? The power in this season comes from the ground up. Do you all see you Black Chicagoans have been listening? Yeah, the stuff that our brothers and sisters are saying in Chicago, first of all, they specifically tell us that they're listening to us. But everything they say, you know they're not getting their talking points and any of that knowledge and the reports that they're hearing. You know they're not getting that from your Black mainstream media folks. So this is another reason they're upset, because it's proof of our impact. So over the years, it's forming and it's shaping people. And y'all are taking action in your own way. Do you see this as power? Black family, do you see you are powerful? And don't you stop, because they have no intentions to stop. There is a much larger agenda than Chicago. When they're pushing this immigration stuff, I've been talking to you all the other day about, we pondered the question, didn't we? Of whether or not your Congress was sitting there making proposals to replace Black folks. Remember, I played you Illinois. Speaking of Chicago, Illinois, one of Illinois senators, Dick Durbin. Remember, he just went on the floor the other day and suggested making illegal criminals soldiers and giving them citizenships if they go fight America's wars. Do you all know that it's much bigger than that? There's multiple reasons why they're doing that. Chuck Schumer, your Democrat senator, long term, said the reason why we need to let all 11 plus million illegal, what he called dreamers, he said however many he said it is, in the country, Clear their records. They're not making proposals. The Congressional Black Caucus and your Congress people, they're not saying, okay, if we approve of this illegal immigration stuff, first of all, Black folks, all they records need to be cleared up before we let illegals' records be cleared. Do y'all know that that's what they're saying when they say give them legal status? That means that they ain't going to show up like they violated the law. If you're not showing up like you violated the law, that means that they're going to also be eligible to housing vouchers, welfare, and other forms of benefits that you don't get. When you have a record, your government can legally discriminate against you. When you have a record, they legally allow companies not to hire you. When you try to get certain types of monetary benefits to your government, they make sure they don't give it to you because of that. You're looking for certain types of housing, they make sure you don't get it because of that. They make it to where it's legal to discriminate against you. All by that label. But they remove that stigma for the illegal immigrants that come here so that they can get access to all that stuff. Make them soldiers. Give them benefits. Chuck Schumer, I was telling you, the other Democrat, remember he said, let all of them come. The illegals, give them legal status, I mean. He said, let all of them have legal status, the dreamers, he said. He said 11 million, and then he said, however many are here, the dreamers. He said, because there are certain populations in the United States that's not producing children like they used to. He's talking about white folks. There's a much larger scheme, and there are multiple moving parts. So this is a big deal, Chicago. Hold the line. We stand with you. My name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show right here on my personal platform at VickiDillard.tv. I can't wait to see you January 2nd when I launch the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. This is my third mastermind school. Again, it's called the Vicki Dillard Mystery School so that you can get the direct link. It's only $45 a month in celebration of my 45th birthday. And actually, January 2nd is my birthday. I can't wait to see you there. So be sure to join my email list. If you're not on the email list, get on there, because as soon as it launches, you're going to be the first one to have the direct link so you can sign up. Your life will never be the same. Give me 12 months to give you spiritual principles for you to implement on a consistent basis. And I promise you, come 2025, you won't see yourself. You know, time flies. You know darn well that none of us can really believe that we're at the end of 2023. I'm sure all of us can just be like, what in the world? I thought it was, should we just be in March? I love you so much. You're more than what meets the eye. You're powerful beyond measure. And you are my bliss. It's a privilege to come before you. You're the new world shakers and history makers. I bow to you. I can't wait to see you again. Big thank you to my moderators also and all of you that tuned in.